Welcome, Pisces, to your love reading for December 10th to the 16th of 2018. Now, let's check into what's going on with you. 10th house is activated for the month, well, the majority of the month, when the sun is in Sagittarius. Your 10th house of career, public status, so that might be a big focus for a lot of you. So when you might be feeling a bit disconnected from your partner or love interest, that's why the sun is kind of pushing you in a certain direction. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's see the recent past for you, Pisces, in love for December 10th to the 16th. Recent past. So the Page of Swords is coming through, and some of you may have been dealing with someone that might have been watching you from a distance. Whoever you may have been around, you could have been talking to this person. Petty squabbles, arguments, or whatever. Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini may have been there, but let's see. What about the Page of Swords for Pisces? Then you have the Queen of Wands showing up, and it could have been a fire sign. You have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius that may have been around you, or could have been kind of talking to you, whatever, or even if it's not that way, watching you from a distance. So trying to keep an eye on you or check up on you, see what may have been going on. So maybe throughout the weekend or last week as well. So it's not really a bad thing potentially, but that seems to be the case for some. Now for the current week, what might you be going through for Pisces in love? Then you have the Four of Cups, and this is when I think about this, this is where some of you might not be content with the connection that you might have, or it could be coming out the other way around. So this is turning someone down, being shut down emotionally, not wanting to offer. All right, and let's see, clarify the Four of Cups. I wonder the reasons why behind it. Then we have the Knight of Wands, and this is often for some of you, you might just want to date, you might just want to party, or be around another person. Sometimes this is wanting to be closer to somebody, but you aren't being satisfied with that connection. Like you want to get closer to that person, but it's not really working out right now. So that might be an issue with the Knight of Wands for some. All right, now the person coming towards you. Let's see. So we have two fire signs showing up, and then we have three people so far. So let's see the person coming towards you, Pisces. The Two of Pentacles, not sure. So when you got somebody that if you're trying to get close to somebody, and again, these don't have to be for the sign that you might be dealing with, could be anybody, but when that person is not really sure, that's why you're potentially undecided or indecisive about the connection. I'm either staying with them or getting to know somebody new. So just kind of juggling. Two of Pentacles for that person. Let's see, clarify. Oh, I'm sorry. So when that's the case, that person can be very, very manipulative, and not really expressing themselves, not really saying anything, not really being around you, like having fun friendships or whatever. So that can come through like a very abusive. So be careful with that. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini is showing up. You got another person. So not telling the truth or being honest in some way. All right. What might your response be for Pisces? I can already see with the Four of Cups you don't like that. So let's see. Clarify the Four of Cups for Pisces. So the Six of Swords, still having frustration, or still in your head about that, either the behavior or still being stuck in the past when there's a bad memory or something that kind of holds you on to something that's been disappointing. Clarify the Six of Swords for Pisces. And then Three of Swords shows up. Whatever it is, when it has something that happened in the past with a particular person, it has you frustrated and heartbroken by that particular connection with you and someone else. That's what it seems like, a bad memory or bad set of circumstances, whatever it might be. What is their response? Let's say Pisces, their response. Then we have the Nine of Cups. Now it's like they I don't know if they enjoy doing this, or they enjoy playing, or they want you, but they're not stating the case. But they're coming out in the upright position, but through that energy of the King of Swords in reverse, it's not good. It's not healthy when it comes through in that way. So I'm not, you got to relate this to what side of the equation you might be on when it comes to whatever you might be thinking about, what breaks your heart. Whether or not some of you are having issues with moving on from someone into a new arrangement with that particular person, that might be an issue, especially if it's a marriage. So someone is either happy to be with you, like they want to, and that was something that happened last week as well. But they are going about it again in the wrong way. That's what it seems like. Let me see the advice for Pisces and the advice. Then you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Still being stuck in a situation that's not good, not moving on from it for some of you out there. Let's see, clarify the Eight of Cups in reverse. Then Seven of Cups, being single, freeing yourself from the situation or person. That's something that you need to do for some of you out there, especially if you feel like something is off. Someone being manipulative, not honest, and you kind of tolerating it. And if that's not healthy, why do you stay, kind of thing. All right. And let's see the outcome. I was telling Sagittarius the same thing. When I'm doing private readings, right, and if you are either in a relationship or you're trying to get to know somebody, it's not going to relate. Well, don't think about it in a way that whoever might be cross-watching, don't think like your partner might be watching this. They could, but what I feel and sense that this is like it's like a gateway to a different portal where a lot of you who are kind of awakening or ascending, you might have access to the channel, or you might have access to other channels, and everybody can kind of get different information. So that means if you come to see a reading, I'm pretty sure that you might have some kind of inclination that something might be wrong. Like you have an idea like something is not quite right. I don't either trust the person that I'm dealing with. I have reasons for concerns. We had a bad argument. There has been trust issues in the past, so you might come to view a reading. For those of you, if this feels kind of heavy or it's kind of negative in certain ways, don't take it personal. It's not a personal reading, but it's for those that might be going through something, and I feel like you might be here for that reason. So just keep that in mind. Don't feel like if there's something negative that you think I'm letting you know that your love interest or partner needs to move on from you or something like that. That's why people get disappointed. I don't think your love interest might be watching, not this. They could be, but for many of you, not. They may not even be in the tarot or even know about it just yet unless you told them. Which is a good thing. They could be, they should be, but not yet. They don't have access to it potentially. So let's see the outcome. I thought that might be interesting for some of you out there. So the outcome for Pisces. So we have this popped out my hand. So Strength in reverse, and then you have the Sun in reverse. Two Leos. Unhappy with two Leos. It just depends. Anger, frustration, dealing with someone with anger management issues. You might have them as well. It just depends on how you respond to this situation when you're dealing with somebody. So when you're not really feeling pleased about the outcome of certain things, or how someone might be dealing with you. All right. So one more card as to what might you be going through for Pisces. Ace of Cups, love. All right. That's either new love, and in order to get to whatever new love this is, you need to disconnect from something or something that's not really working out for you, that doesn't feel good. If it's a marriage, reevaluate it. I'm not telling you to leave your partner, but try to have a conversation about it at least. And if you can't have the conversation, there's no way to talk to, so you need to disconnect from it and move into something more stable, because it seems like new love is there, or opportunity for it. This is also not only love, but joy, having fun, being playful, creative, and embracing that, and enjoying yourself. So Ace of Cups, let's clarify it for Pisces and love. Page of Wands, enjoy yourself, have a good time, and I feel like that's a good thing. So the advice is coming through where a lot of you might be into this week, and even though this particular love life situation could be driving you insane a bit because of what's going on, I feel like this is the energy that you need to kind of embrace and cater to that. Pretty much for a lot of you. And there could be a child as well, where some of you might not want the child. You may have had sex with somebody, and you may have been pregnant. You got somebody pregnant, for the males out there. And then there's the birth. Some of you want to go along with it, but some of you might be having issues with in your mind about going through with the process, because the Six of Swords is in reverse. It's like thinking about, hey, should I go move forward with this or not? That kind of thing is going on. So that's going to be the reading for the week. I hope the messages did help out in some way. Tons of love, lots of light to you, tons of healing vibes. I wish you the best, and you can always go to the website psychicloveheals.com to schedule something for you. So have a good one.